Yeah, hi. These comments are for 3479 or RM, and I'm reading your essay right now. Excuse me. Okay, let's take a look at different parts of it. So right in the beginning, you have your introduction where you include a thesis that unifies the three parts of the assignment. Then we get into part one. You talk about the rhetorical nature of book reviews, including why people read book reviews, who reads book reviews, and then you talk about what things you will include in your book review. So I think you're moving in the right direction in part one. Now part two, you have these shorter paragraphs in there. I don't think that works very well. You're looking at about 100 to 50 to 150 words on your paragraphs, and let me go ahead and number them, these paragraphs in part two, so I can talk about them with you a little bit. Looks like you have 10 paragraphs. Okay, in the beginning, when you get to the end of your first paragraph of the book review, it is important that you try to include a thesis. Remember in the beginning you included a thesis that set up the three parts of the assignment. Why not include a specific thesis that will organize the different parts of your book review? You say, when doctors were going to pull the plug, Ivan's eyes popped open. Now the thing is that's more explaining information from the book, but that's not the purpose of your book review. Your purpose, of course, is to explain whether or not you like the book and why. So you want to give some reasons there. So I think a more sharply focused thesis, I think in that first paragraph, would make it easier for you to structure the body paragraphs of your essay. So paragraph 2, you say the genre of proof of heaven is interesting. Again, why not create an argumentative topic sentence in that second paragraph, and then it's easier to defend your argument, and then you create more of an argumentative tone. Remember what I was saying? I'm looking for 2/3 evaluation, 1/3 summary. Well, if you start off your paragraphs with factual statements or explanatory statements, of course then the rest of the paragraph is going to follow that kind of tone, which is not what we're trying to do in the second part of the writing assignment. And it's also a very short paragraph. Paragraph 3, many people are in question if Dr. Eben Alexander is suitable to be even writing this book. So how about paragraph 2, 3, 4, how about 3, 4, 5, and 6? You can probably combine all those paragraphs, but you have to make more of an assertion. You say many people are in question. No, what you want to do is say based on his qualifications, credentials, and experience, Dr. Alexander is or is not qualified to write the book. It's not that you're explaining both sides here. You're trying to argue based on your experience, based on your examination and analysis of what you know about the writer. Is he qualified or not to write this book? So I don't think you're doing a really good job answering that question. It's kind of like you're afraid to take an argument. But I like you to take an argument. That's the whole purpose of this part of the writing assignment, is to have you choose a position, opinions about the book, and then defend those. So I think 3, 4, 5, and 6, there's just too much summary and explanation going on there. You need more of an argument. 7. Indefinite. Dr. Eben Alexander is well overqualified to write the book. All right, so now you get into more of a position, I think, in paragraph 7. So it's kind of like based on what you said in 3, 4, 5, and 6, you think that he is qualified, but you're not making those connections very well. Paragraph 8, you say the main point of the book is to inspire people to accept that there's life after death called heaven. Now here's my point though. That to me is simply a statement, but what if you said this? Is the book, the main point of the book, which is to inspire people to accept there is life after death, is effective, and the readers are likely to agree with this main point. Then you talk about why you think that main point is effective or convincing, and why you think the audience is likely to agree with his point of view. And then you also talk about in that paragraph, Dr. Alexander's argument is relevant to today's society. I would like you to put that idea in a different paragraph and then spend maybe 50 or 100 words defending that idea. So I think talking about the main point and whether or not it's inspirational to the audience, that would be good to deal with in one paragraph, and then talk about the argument or the relevancy of the argument maybe in another paragraph. Now, 9. You say, although the major question is if it's credible or not, right? So you get into that. Now, if this is different from what you've done already in those previous body paragraphs, I mean, should you use a word like however? But then you have to do a transition somehow, say, despite the inspiration and the effectiveness of the book and its argument, there is some question about the credibility of the writer. How about that for a transition sentence? You might want to play back the video one more time just to get that. But I think overall, I'm looking at paragraph 10 here. It's one of the best books you've ever read. He made his words come together well. I felt as if I were in his position. You get a lot of good evaluation at the end, but it's a little bit too little too late. I would rather you take that position from the start and then try to defend why it is you believe the way you do. So beginning with a more sharply focused thesis, and also with creating more argumentative topic sentences in those body paragraphs, I think that you could strengthen, I think, the tone and the organization of this particular essay. Now, if you're not sure about creating argumentative thesis and topic sentences in your essay, I want you to take a look at a website, type in these keywords. A Writer's Reference by Diana Hacker, 6th edition. It'll take you to her practice website for students. Click on the link where it says Writing Exercises, then click on the link that says Practice with Thesis Statements, and another link says Practice with Topic Sentences. I want you to go through 5 or 6 of those exercises in those 2 areas, and what you want to do is see if you can see the difference between making a topic sentence either factual or more argumentative. What I'm asking you to do is to create more argumentative topic sentences in those body paragraphs. All right, now let's take a look at your grade. So right now I went over the different parts of your essay, and you also have, it looks like part 3 at the end, which is the condensed version of your book review. Again, you're struggling a lot with your paragraphing here. I think that you really need to start from scratch with part 3. You want to get that down to fewer than 200 words, and you probably don't need more than 1, maybe 2 paragraphs at the most. All right, so based on my comments on your essay, I think that you could improve your organization a little bit, as I pointed out. So I'm going to put you in the C range. I'm going to give you 78 out of 100 on this particular writing assignment.